What happens when you go toe-to-toe with PSA on Twitter and they can prove you wrong? Let's show you. Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So I am obviously a PSA card collector, and I use PSA to grade some cards occasionally. I have been very critical of them in the past, and of Nat Turner for some of their practices and some things that they've done, and I will continue to be. But sometimes I have to be fair and say, you know what? Nat actually did something pretty cool, I guess. Fun. It was funny anyway. It was definitely funny. And it was the highlight of Twitter, sportscards Twitter last night. It was this one person who had just created their account in November and was trying to get some sort of business going, maybe. They were called NorCal Collects, and they posted on Twitter, I don't know, early evening maybe, a picture of a card that had come back to them from PSA. It was a 2013 Marvel Fleer Retro Spider-Man card. I don't know anything about these cards. And it came back from PSA as questionable authenticity. So they're saying that it could be counterfeit. It doesn't actually say that on the card itself, but so this person, I assume it's a he, could be a she, but we'll go with he, said that they pulled the card themselves years ago, claimed it was 1,000% real. And you know they're being honest when they go above 100%. It's 1,000, it's 10 billion% real. So they said 1,000% real, so had to have been real. And then they said the almighty PSA couldn't authenticate this card. And then they said, SGC, here I come. And this is a really, really common thing you see on Twitter. People saying, I got this autograph in person and the almighty PSA couldn't authenticate it. Most of the time, all PSA is saying is that they can't authenticate it. It doesn't mean that it's counterfeit or fraud, but in this case, it was. And he tagged, NorCal Collects tagged 6 big accounts: Collectibles Guru, Mario Alejandro, I can't remember the other big one, but it went big. And I happen to notice it pretty early on, I think before Nat even responded. But one thing is when you call out PSA and you're wrong or you're lying, Nat's gonna maybe find it. I don't know if he has something or if people tag him, but Nat found the post. And he responds, by pack pulled, do you mean bought on Etsy? And this is where it all goes downhill. People started, and I retweeted Nat, people started going, oh no, prove that this is legit. And Nat provides a link to the Etsy product to show, and then he provides side-by-side images showing, and remember, NorCal only showed the front of his card, of his Spider-Man card. But Nat shows side-by-side images of the real one, the real card itself, which is numbered to 100, by the way, which just becomes important in a moment, and the one on Etsy. And you can see in the precious metal gems, text in the top left of the card, I think, that it does not match the real one. And so Nat is just going to town on this guy, absolutely bodying him, as the kids like to say. NorCal, surprisingly, doubles down on it. He claims that he pulled it from a pack from DA Card World, David Adams Card World, 3 or so years ago. Why, if you're pulling a really, really valuable card 3 years ago, it's just sitting in a card saver for 3 years? I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's not impossible, but Nat calls him out for it. He says that his was number 12 out of 100, because I guess all the Etsy ones are number 1 out of 100 for some reason. Somebody also finds that NorCal Collects had posted the progress in December of his card at PSA, saying how excited he was that he had hit the jackpot with this card. So he went out and he bought it on Etsy and then sent it to PSA, and because it got through the grading process and was in assembly, he assumed that meant that it had gotten through and he had fooled PSA, which is just such a fun little side fact of this story. So remember, NorCal says that their card was number 12, Nat then posts images, scanned images of the actual raw card that NorCal had sent them. And he says, this came right out of your package. And it's number 1 out of 100. So it is definitely from the Etsy card. And Nat, of course, knows this because NorCal had included a picture of the questionable authenticity label, which has a scan and it has a number that I'm assuming Nat can pull up and say, oh, here's this person. And here's their card and the scans that we have. So people started asking NorCal to post an image of the back to prove Nat wrong, because he's doubling down. He continues to double down. And NorCal says, no, I can't do that. Repeatedly, he says, I can't do that because it's already off to SGC for grading. Even though it was like an hour ago that he had posted that he was sending it off to SGC, he's already got it off to SGC. It's plausible. It's unlikely, though. So then Nat pulls out the 12 of 100 that they've already graded less than 2 years ago and says, is this yours? Basically. So he's caught him in numerous lies already and is just absolutely destroying this guy. And people are saying to NorCal Collects, delete this post. Delete this post. You have lost. You have been destroyed. And he keeps saying, no, I'm not going to delete it. I'm the one who's right, and I'll prove you guys wrong when it comes back from SGC. J.O. Felony on Twitter, that's his username, J.O. Felony, says, at least you're only out what you paid on Etsy, the grading fees, and your reputation. NorCal then claims, he responds to J.O. Felony, saying that PSA is demanding that he take the tweet down, and claims that if he were lying, why would they demand that? Nat responds to that saying, prove it. Prove that we're telling you that. People are really piling on NorCal Collects at this point, just absolutely saying, maybe you should just delete your whole account. He continues doubling down. He says he will never delete the post, and then all of a sudden, his tweets all go private. People continue to hit him hard. I mean, there are posts out there about people changing his tweet into a meme, into a themed post. Somebody posted a 1952 Mickey Mantle autographed, clearly fake, and they just changed the phrase, saying like, "I bought this on DA Card World in 1952. I'm 1,000% sure it's real." It's really funny stuff. It got wild out there, and then all of a sudden he deleted his account entirely. So I guess we won't be finding out if SGC agreed that it's real, which is a shame. But I don't know, why would you make up a lie that's easily provable by PSA? That they can go in. Like, I posted my PSA DNA reveal, and a PSA employee reached out to me about one of my cards because he was watching my video. I don't remember what it was exactly, but he had information behind the scenes on the card, and they know this stuff. They can easily look it up, and it's Nat Turner, and it's going to go viral, and you're going to look bad. And he only had like 125 followers, so it wasn't like a massive deal to him, and he's probably just created a new account and he's going to start from scratch. But oh man, why do you think you're going to get away with this? People are going to question it. I don't know. This was just a fun one. I enjoyed this. Hope you guys did too. I'll be back. Obviously, hopefully I'll have a Attic Find Friday this week, and I've got another fake card video coming up. A really interesting one that has been going around a little bit on Twitter, not viral at all, but yeah, I've got a lot of stuff coming up soon. Thanks very much for watching.